Standing in the wake of this train wreck, my heart is beating faster in my chest. This depression terrifies me. When I'm awake, it's like these thoughts, they paralyze me. I don't wanna feel like this. I don't wanna feel like this. Time stops, weightless and cold. Silence burns like fire while my fears unfold. There's panic. Tooth to my cheek, too hard to speak without you. Lungs drain to air. Life feels unfair without you. Come back to me. Don't leave me to dream about you. Dream about you. Dream about you. How can I breathe without you? How can I breathe without you? Without you. What is left to say when the sky falls? I'm staring at your ghost in the stars. There's not a day that I don't miss you. The feeling swelling overflow. It's like I see you, hear you. I don't wanna feel like this. Why do I still feel like this? Heart ripped out of my brain. I sit here talking to myself. I think I'm going insane. Tooth to my cheek, too hard to speak without you. Lungs drain to air. Life feels unfair without you. Come back to me. Don't leave me to dream about you. Dream about you. Dream about you. How can I breathe without you? How can I breathe without you? The only way to fix this, the only way to fix this pain inside, the only way to fix this is a deep breath in as you say goodbye.
I kick ass for the Lord.
What about me?
I never loved him the way that I love you. Just drops the mic.
Bit me with his butt.
Can't see it from here.
What about the panty?
What about the panty? What's up, Butters? Gets me every time. Hey. Welcome into 52/1993, the live movie conversation podcast where we discuss movies from the year 1993. I am your host, Cody, and I am joined by my co-host this week, Joseph. Welcome in, Joseph. If this is your first time joining us, welcome in. We are so happy for you to join us today. And hopefully you're joining in because this is your favorite movie in the whole wide world. And you're just here to hear us talk such warm things about it and say the only kindest things about it. So welcome in. We're happy to have you. Just to give you a little bit of a heads up of what we're going to be doing here, we're going to be talking about movies from the year 1993, important movies released this year by their weekend releases. Doesn't matter if they're good, bad. Most of them are pretty mid, as the children say. And then I have a host and we talk about them through some categories that we go through. And then we'll probably talk about some other upcoming movies or movies that we've watched recently. But it's all good fun. We encourage everybody to participate in the chat and please, ask questions, do whatever you need to, right? Right, Joseph?
Get in there.
Get in there. Start talking,
Spencer.
And get in here and start talking, Spencer. So, but anybody is free to join. Please do not think that we don't want to hear from you. This goes a lot better whenever I can see these kinds of things in the chat and we can address those and talk about them. But we're going to talk about the movie of the week, Demolition Man. It's a great one.
Hold on.
Okay,
Hold
go
on.
ahead.
This is something I would like you to add to your introductories here. Like, I always want to know what's on the VHS behind you.
Oh, this is Demolition Man.
That's
I actually
it?
have. Yeah, I can
Nice.
see Stallone's naked body going into cryo prison right now.
So right at the best part. Maybe.
Right? No. The best part I think is whenever they're like trying to unfreeze people from the cryo prison, and I'm pretty sure you see a dude's balls or his grundle at least, like the under the balls thing, definitely in there. I was like eyes peeled on that.
Yep.
I had I was looking for it real.
Butts are back, baby.
Butts are back. This is the year of the butts.
I feel like we saw some Stallone parts. Maybe. I don't know.
I saw a lot of I don't know. I just saw a lot of butts. I liked it. Butts are back. 2023. Tell your friends. Anyway, let's talk about this movie.
Let's do it.
Okay. Butts are back. October 8th, 1993. That's when this movie came out. It was directed by Marco Brambilla. It was written by Daniel Waters, Robert Renault, and Peter Linkoff. The cast stars Sylvester Stallone, as I had already previously mentioned, as John Spartan, Wesley Snipes as Simon Phoenix, Sandra Bullock as Lenina Huxley, Nigel Hawthorne as Dr. Cocteau, Benjamin Bratt as Alfredo Garcia, Dennis Leary, Edgar Friendly, Bill Cobbs as Zachary Lamb, Bob Gunton as Chief George Earl, Glenn Shaddix as Associate Bob, and then there are a couple little cameos in there of Rob Schneider, who went uncredited in this movie, even though he has a couple speaking parts. And then there is a Jack Black. You can see him in a couple of the scenes down in the sewers. He does. I don't know if he has any lines or anything. I'm pretty sure he just kind of stands there looking.
Yeah,
like
I
Jack
missed
Black.
it. That was something I saw after the fact.
So how would you
describe
describe this movie before I give you the synopsis? Give me your synopsis.
How would I synopsis?
Somebody said, "Hey, what's Demolition Man about?"
It's your classic like hero villain destined to intersect as much as possible throughout their histories, kind of like a Batman and Joker type, like they exist for each other, and like it starts off in one time era and we end up in a very different era, kind of like it almost felt like how they do with westerns nowadays, like, oh, remember like the gunslingers and like the Outlaws back then. It was kind of like that, but like transposed into like future and the 90s.
Yeah,
So
I like that. Good.
yeah,
Okay.
that's as good
I
as I
like
got.
that. Thank you. I put you on the spot with that one. So changing things up here. I'll give you the Google synopsis. With innocent victims caught in the crossfire in Los Angeles's intensifying war on crime, both cop John Spartan and violent thug Simon Phoenix are sentenced to a state of frozen incarceration known as cryo prison. When Spartan is finally thawed 36 years later, it's 2032. It's coming up, guys. And Los Angeles is now a pacifist utopia called San Angeles. But with Phoenix again on the loose, Spartan must team up with the future cop, Lenina, to apprehend the killer. It's not the best, not the worst. That's pretty good. Yeah.
That's basically
That's
what I said.
think that's
Yeah.
I think yours was way better. This movie had a budget of $77 million and it raked in $159.1 million. It was the budget for this movie kind
Nice.
of blew up a little bit. I think it was like somewhere around 44 million. And so they had to add an extra 33 million, probably some Sylvester Stallone thing, you know, they wanted more butt shots or something and they got them.
More butt shots. The cars too. I think.
Oh, the cars
cost a lot
were.
of money.
I think they had a contract with GM, is what I was reading. It was something like that, and GM had to put. I don't know. I'm not worried about it. Rotten Tomatoes has a score of this movie of 62%. IMDb has it's pretty close, 6.7 out of 10 is their rating. And Roger Ebert did not review this one. It's not a part of his great movies. I don't know why. But we've got a couple different reviews here I'll read off for you. Demolition Man is sleek and empty, as well as brutal and pointless. It feels computer engineered, untouched by human hands, a real pod movie. Peter Travers of Rolling Stone. I didn't know he gave negative reviews. But a pod movie. Interesting. And then Philippa Bloom from Empire Magazine says, this futuristic comedy depends on your opinion of Stallone and his unapologetic, popcorn-pleasing action no-brainers. To be fair, this is one of his better ones. And that was a positive review. All right. And, just a couple things legacy-wise. There are no awards for any of these things, but Dennis Rodman did style his hair like the Simon Phoenix character after this movie was released. And when he debuted with the San Antonio Spurs, he looked like Simon Phoenix. So that's kind of cool, right? Wesley Snipes hated this hair and immediately shaved his head after this movie. That's a fun fact. Erotic VR games. Do they come from this movie? Who knows? Probably. Taco Bell's popularity. They actually had a Taco Bell place, and maybe you looked into this, and if you're surprised why I'm saying Taco Bell instead of Pizza Hut. Okay.
I had to, because the dubbing was obvious. I was like, what
are
they
saying?
Same
thing to Spencer. Or Spencer said the same thing to me. He was like, they definitely didn't say they didn't say Pizza Hut, right? And I was like, yes, I looked it up at the exact same moment.
Every time.
Taco Bell actually in 2018 had a recreation of the Taco Bell restaurant. The fancy Taco Bell. That was at like Comic-Con or something like that. Some people have called this a libertarian manifesto because of all the, censored, like that utopia that they live in. They kind of use this as their libertarian manifesto. These are all things that I got from Wikipedia, by the way. So also the legacy of COVID-19 was thrown in here because of the not sharing or shaking hands or swapping bodily fluids. This movie was before all that kind of, said, hey, we can greet people without doing those things. So I thought that was kind of interesting as well.
Yeah. The little wavy handshake
and the no kissing and it's great.
Yeah. Libertarian
Manifesto. I really liked Libertarian Manifesto. That was a good one. Yeah.
I was hoping you would have like a soundboard buzzer for like every time we curse today. And, like, print out
If I had
stickers.
more time and and ideas like that, maybe I would have done it. That's what I need you guys for, is to come in here and give me all this good stuff. Yeah.
Good stuff.
All right, let's go ahead and break down this movie and go through some of our things. So let's start out with, what do you think are the best scenes in this movie, or 4 to 5 scenes that really, if you were explaining this movie to somebody, what would you say really make this movie? So I'll start with you.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I feel like the opening is like pretty important because it kind of like mirrors the ending in a lot of ways. So, like when we first see this crazy crime infested LA, and like it just seems like it's like completely in the hands of like the drug lords and stuff, and just like complete chaos. And then we see Stallone, like the Demolition Man, going in to apprehend uh, Phoenix, and they have like the big altercation that ends up in the building.
How would you
blowing
like
up.
to be known as a cop, known as the Demolition Man?
Renegade.
The guy that just goes in, so much collateral damage, it doesn't matter. And I'm pretty sure he was called this before? He was called this before.
Yeah, even before this.
There's no telling how much involuntary manslaughter this guy has caused.
We need a series just to see like
I need
the
it.
backstory.
I do. I need a prequel to this.
I need a prequel.
I want to know how many people he's killed in the line of duty that had nothing to do with these crimes. So,
yeah, so that was like the big first scene to me was like right out of the gate, where they have their big altercation. They both get caught and somehow survive a huge explosion, both of them, and go into cryo prison, and they're forever frozen or whatever.
okay, yes, that's exactly what. Sorry, that's exactly what I have as my first one. There's some yeah. Sorry, I was trying to do some different things here with the system. I'm not able to see the chat as well as I usually do, so we're working through it. Yeah, the opening scene, you get some good lines in here that I hope that we talk about. But yeah, really sets us up for that showdown between these two characters. Phoenix and Spartan. Is there do you think there's any relevance to their names being Phoenix and Spartan? I didn't really dig into this, but I
didn't either. I didn't think about it.
I just think I don't know, it's unique. I don't know if I'd switch their names or not.
Phoenix. They mentioned like the Phoenix rising from the ashes at one point, which is kind of weird for a villain. That's usually like a hero thing. I don't know.
No.
And I didn't think about this.
Food for thought. All right. What's next on your list?
After that, let's see. I guess when the murder, death, kills start happening.
The one I murdered,
which made me laugh a lot.
So are you talking about Phoenix's like escape?
Yeah, when he gets out, and then starts rampaging.
And nobody does a thing during this. Murder, death, kills start happening. He kills 3 people, which doesn't seem that like. I know that this is a safe society and everything, and they really don't have like guards and stuff. But 3 people is it for that entire place where you're doing all these freezing.
Yeah, it seems like he could have killed a lot more getting out of there.
Yeah,
but
they cut a lot. I think they cut a lot out of this movie.
That's what I saw some stuff about them. There did seem to be like some missing parts.
Okay, on some of these murder, death, kills, do you feel like he really killed them?
Not all of them, no. Like the cop, are you talking about like the first scene with the cops?
He like clotheslines like 3 guys. They're dead. I don't get it.
I guess because maybe the human body has become so weak from the lack of violence.
Now we're getting into it. Now I like.
It's like me, how when I bend over and my back breaks because I'm weak from no
So
physical
if
activity.
I punch you in the chest or give you a clothesline,
If you close on me, I would die
okay,
probably.
we'll test it. And
Let's test
Spencer
it.
will be there. He's our scientific correspondent.
Is he gonna be the
Yes,
coroner?
he will
like, to
pronounce you
pronounce me
dead
dead?
as
Okay,
soon
okay.
as I clothesline you.
Cool.
And then if you're not dead, you can clothesline me back. Deal? Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
We'll film
Let's do
it too.
And we'll bring in the chat
That'll
at the
be
same time. They can
that'll
take
be on my
bets.
Patreon. It'll be there are 3 tiers. It's murder, death, and kill. If you subscribe at the murder level, you'll get a sticker.
Oh, man.
And at death, you get a tumbler. You get a tumbler. All 3 tiers get the snuff film that is Killing Joseph.
We've already got at least
Hey,
one
that's
sub
all
in
I
the
need.
chat, so that's money.
That's all I need.
It's money to be made.
And in the kill tier, I will send you a personal message telling you how good it felt to kill a man. That's in the 3rd tier. So
I like that
okay.
tier. That's a
So
good tier.
join Patreon.
Am I allowed to sub for a tier, or am I
No, you
disqualified?
can sub. As long as
Okay,
you've
cool.
got it on auto draft, that's all that matters to me.
Payment in
Exactly.
advance.
That's all that matters. All right, what do you have for your 3rd scene?
Oh man. Yeah. After that, I did really like the like when he was at the kiosk or whatever, and like, oh, he's just like an amazing hacker, and like just gets all this information from this computer, even though he's been not exposed to technology like this before. So you like immediately know like something's up.
Mhm.
Like he's been trained for this somehow while he
I
was
won't
asleep.
lie.
So
I did not understand the the probation stuff or the what is it called? The when they make you better. I don't even
oh, the
rehabilitation. I
rehabilitation.
did not
Yeah,
get
yeah.
the rehabilitation stuff until probably like an hour, 10 minutes into this movie. And I was like, they just freeze these guys and expect them to be better people. I did not understand it until
They're supposed to
knit
be.
her a sweater, I'm pretty sure. And then I was
Right,
like,
right.
okay, I get
Then
it.
you're like,
I get this
oh,
now.
that's how they're
Yeah,
supposed to
he
come
knit
out.
people
Yeah,
sweaters.
but also, even though he could knit, like he was still just as much a demolition man, like
Yeah.
causing chaos. Like I don't think was he really rehabilitated or did he just
Well,
learn to knit?
I
Like,
think they needed him to be able to shoot people. So they were like, but you're also going to knit sweaters. And I don't know why I didn't get it. Spencer saying they said it at the beginning. I guess I wasn't paying attention. Shit, my bad.
you missed the
I
rehab
missed
program,
the rehab
bro.
program. It just went over. I'm sorry.
How could you?
Okay, so you like that scene that's like,
Yeah, I kind of put those together because it happened like right as
Right.
he was escaping still. But I love me some '90s Wesley Snipes. Like I know he's like an actual like real life badass like black belt, but man, he's just so good in like fight scenes. I love it.
It's so funny because even in Rising Sun, when we watched Rising Sun, like it makes so much more sense now that I've read some notes about like the fight scenes in this that they made him slow down because they couldn't capture it on, and it makes it look so much worse to me. I think it looks weird.
It's like very like over exaggerated almost, like with the slower.
My hot take is I don't like Wesley Snipes. Yeah, it's my hot take.
You never watched U.S.
I
Marshals,
didn't.
did
I have
you?
not watched U.S. I love him as Willie Mays Hayes in Major League. That's amazing. After Rising Sun in this movie, I'm like, he's not a good actor. He could probably kick some people's butts, but I just don't like him as an actor. Hot take. We'll get there.
All right. We're gonna have to do a hard agree to disagree
that's fine.
on that.
I know I'm in the
Wesley.
minority here. What's your next scene? We're kind of hitting all those.
Let's see. Yeah. I guess let's see, where do we go after that? There was a lot that was like kind of important, not super important. I guess the next big one would be when they get down to the sewers,
Oh,
to the
okay. I've got the
underworld.
Taco Bell
Yeah.
scene in between there. So the
Okay.
Taco
Okay.
Bell scene,
Or Pizza Hut,
huh?
you mean?
Oh,
You
yes,
mean
Pizza
Pizza Hut?
Hut. My bad. So for everybody that's watching, if you did watch this and I did not provide you with the place to watch this, in the original movie, it is Taco Bell that they keep talking about. And they go to this Taco Bell restaurant, and Taco Bell is the logo that's on everything. In the versions we watched, it was Pizza Hut. And they dubbed over them and it said Pizza Hut. They did miss one dub where they just didn't have anything where the mouth was moving. It was bad. And so, yeah, in the future, I guess there was a franchise war, and Taco Bell / Pizza Hut came out on top. So every restaurant that served food,
Only right.
every restaurant that serves food is called Taco Bell, and so it's like the I don't know, it's like the fancy restaurant. So
It's like when you're going out to eat, you are going to get Taco
exactly,
Bell.
but it's a
That's
really
it.
fancy restaurant, and this is where the underground people, the mole people, come up
Well, people-
come up to get their food, led by Dennis Leary. I don't know why.
yes.
Dennis Leary's in this
Why not?
movie. But yeah.
For that one rant, that's
Oh,
what he's in
yeah.
there for. That like his one little monologue that he
Yes.
has.
And then like this is, you get to see a little bit of like badassness from Stallone in this. And then he also realizes, oh, these people just want to eat. And so there's a little bit of like, oh, this place sucks a lot. Isn't it right after this that we have the sex scene?
Oh
Like,
yeah,
so we have the
think
scene
so.
between where Sandra Bullock takes I'm not spoiling anything, I promise. Stallone or Sandra Bullock takes him back to her apartment, which looks like a garage that I've seen numerous times, where it's just got all this kitschy 90s signs and
And
like,
a
yeah,
bar.
it looks like a bar. It looks like Shenanigans or one of those places like Cracker Barrel, except with 90s stuff all over it. Because she's obsessed with the 90s. And then she's like, hey, do you want to have sex? Like, she's super excited about it. First false thing in here. Nobody's that excited about it. There's
Well, no, the explanation made perfect sense. If you'll recall, their violence and sex are so neurologically entwined that like naturally she wanted to bone
oh yeah,
after seeing him beat up on the street
exactly.
rats.
And sex in this movie is you putting on this like neurological cap, and you just get like the feelings of sex and sit across from each other. You can even, like, you have to close your eyes too. You can't even look at the other person. You just have to, I
It
don't
was
know.
weird.
It was that scene gave me sexolepsy. It's a funny fucking line.
Love that. It was
I'm a
very,
sexoleptic.
very like
You got to watch out.
strange.
Isn't that what
yeah.
Caesar died of? Didn't he have sexolepsy? Or no, that must have been Caligula. I don't know.
Yeah, bro. Caesar got
Oh
stabbed. What do
yeah,
you
he had some
mean?
different problems. Caligula had sexolepsy. All right,
There you
so
go.
let's go to your underground scene, because that was the next one I had on my list.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned the sex scene was one of the most important parts of the movie. I think it was just like they did have some like fun, like interesting takes on the future. That one might have been my favorite one, just like the VR sex. But then he got like a weird like call from somebody else who was like naked. Do you
The
remember
what?
that?
Wait, what? There was a scene.
There was like yeah, when he got back to his apartment after she kicked
Mhm.
him out because he wanted to have real sex instead of
Yeah.
fake sex. He got like a wrong number
Oh yeah,
call
the
where
only
it
nudity
was
in
like a
this
nude,
movie that wasn't a
and I was like,
male butt.
yeah, it was really weird because I was like, if y'all are VR sexing, what are you doing like calling up somebody naked? Like, why?
They,
Who are you? Why? I was very
they
curious
just
about this
wanted to show some
person.
titties. I'm pretty sure.
I guess they still have them in the future.
Everybody's got titties in the future. So we still want to see.
We couldn't see Sandra, so it had to be
That's right.
somebody,
That's
right?
right. Jesus.
Oh, God. Yeah. 2032, baby. Something
That's
to look
right.
forward to.
2032 is going to be a banger, guys. Yeah. So we go.
So,
We
sewers.
so the sewers.
The street. What'd you call them?
The mole people
The mole
scene.
people. I like that. Yeah. So by this point, Spartan has like realized that the dude is like in on it and brought Phoenix out of cryosleep to kill this underground leader or whatever. So that's how we end up down in the underground sewers, where there's like a whole civilization, kind of like
It kind of reminded me of Super Mario Brothers. Okay.
Yes,
We're on same page.
same. No goop
No,
everywhere,
no
but other than that,
yes,
very similar.
similar to that. They're eating rats, just like in Super Mario. Yep, rat burgers. Which, if it tasted the same, I'm down.
I mean, how bad could it be?
Also, I want to know is Prego? I know Prego is Italian. It's she was talking Spanish and he responded in Italian, right?
That seems right.
I didn't know if Prego was also a Spanish term because they're all romantic languages, but I thought it was like, yeah, he's kind of being a dick in this.
It kind of seemed like some mixed wires crossed kind of, but maybe no, I'm not gonna excuse it. Never mind. He was being a dick.
He's like, I'm Prego.
Sorry, I don't really like Stallone.
I love
I'm sorry.
Stallone. I am on the other side of that. I freaking love Stallone.
Opposite.
He's incredible.
Sometimes.
Cliffhanger.
Cliffhanger was pretty good. I'll give you that one. Rocky was pretty good.
Blood.
I can take
Copland.
it or leave it. Take it or leave it.
Copland's amazing. I love Copland. Everybody should watch that. All right, Underground.
Expendables 4.
What'd you say?
I said Expendables 4.
Out. You lost me on all of the Expendables. I don't like those movies at all.
I figured you would have already gone to see it, man. Opening weekend. You love Stallone.
I love Stallone. I don't love Expendables.
Okay.
With a 4 in the name. I don't even know where they put it in the Expendables.
It's A, obviously. Bro, leap.
Is it?
Come on. Expend for
Blizz.
Yeah.
It's a sequel to ME3 or M3 Gan. Megan. I'm off the rails. All right, they're underground.
You're everywhere. I love it. Yeah. So we kind of officially meet Dennis Leary's character for the first time. He's like popped up a few times, but not like, we didn't really know. We knew he was like the subject to be killed by Phoenix, but we didn't know why or like what he's doing or anything. So then we get to see like the whole like underground people, the free thinkers, who don't want to abide by this like kind of controlling utopia.
Libertarians.
Up top. Libertarians.
Exactly. Let's just call them that instead of mole people.
Manifesto. So yeah, he does make like a pretty cool like little like speech. It was very like Dennis Leary, like because he's like known for like his little
rants,
tirades or rants. Yeah. So it felt very appropriate for him. So I liked that. And then like of course, things get crazy. Phoenix is down there too.
The Goombas attack.
Explosions. Goombas.
That's what it felt like. Yeah. It felt like the Goombas.
Yeah.
This is like the only fight. Well, I guess the big fight scene is the one I have next, but this is like the only real like gunfight in the movie. Because nobody has guns above.
Yeah, they have like a semi-gun fight at the museum, like where he first finds all the guns, but it wasn't like. I did love. I'm just gonna go ahead and throw it out there. Before the quote section, when Sylvester Stallone hits him with the TV, like he's swinging the TV by the cord, he's like, "You're on TV." That was probably one of my favorite one-liners.
There's some good one-liners in here.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, I think after that it's kind of like the
fight scene at the cryo prison. I think is the showdown that we were all looking for. And you get a lot of stuff ahead of that where you get the Wesley Snipes taking control of the situation and getting his goons that he had thought out to kill the main bad guy because he couldn't do it. He wasn't programmed to be able to do it. And then, Snipes versus Stallone fight scene where Stallone freezes him at one point or at the end and kicks his head off. And it was awesome. Yeah, that was cool. I really did like
Loved
that.
the head kick. Me too. That was one of my favorite things of the whole movie.
Where did one of my things about this ending fight? He only dispatches two. Is it two like goons? I swear.
You're talking about when they first
Yeah.
get to like the yeah. There's a fight scene with two
Three
of
of
them.
I don't know where
we don't know what
I
happened.
don't know where they're at. Maybe they got killed in the underground.
It has to be the cut footage,
It has
right?
to be. That's the only thing I kept thinking of. I was like, because Jesse Ventura, who's a wrestler, is also in this movie, and he is one of the goons that gets cut out. Like, you never see him again after they all like kill the one guy and throw his body in the.
Is he the bald one? Oh, the one that kind of looks like Arbor, David Arbor. Wait, is that the guy from Stranger Things?
Yeah.
What's the guy? Yeah, I thought it was him for a second.
Yeah,
like,
no.
Like,
Jesse Ventura, who's also in Predator. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he's the.
Squad.
But yeah, you only see him like the once, and then they never see him again. I don't know. Definitely cut footage. I would love to see a director's cut of Demolition Man because I want to see all of the scenes that we're missing.
Yeah, maybe just the scenes for me. I don't have to watch it again. Director's cut.
You just want to see. Yeah, I don't know, but that's it.
But you
I
love
love Stallone. I would watch it. Anything you want to add? Any other scenes that we might have missed? Obviously, there are a lot of scenes and there are a lot of lines in this, but those are the 4 to 5 that I was like, yeah, this is how you describe this movie to somebody.
Yeah. The car chase was really lackluster. Yeah.
The only thing we get out of the car chase is that we learn that Wesley Snipes had killed those 30 hostages before Stallone blew up the building. So he really didn't commit murder and need to go to jail for involuntary manslaughter. That's the only thing. But it just seemed so inconsequential. Like, it didn't mean anything to us. He's already done his. It was dumb.
All of that was super forced too. Like, okay, my first problem was Phoenix gets a parole hearing before Spartan. Like, how is that possible?
Well, the guy made sure to give him parole
because of the
I feel
guy.
like we missed a lot.
Yeah, and then also, like, another thing along that same line is like when Spartan gets out, he gets like a chip put in him immediately. Nothing for Phoenix, so it's like, something's going on, but it doesn't really like make sense until much later, I guess.
That's the thing. I just don't feel like it we're missing key scenes, I believe. So
yeah.
All right. Who's your favorite character? Who's your favorite character in this movie?
You already know.
Is it Wesley? It's Simon.
It's Wesley. Simon Phoenix.
Man. I thought it was going to be Associate Bob.
The kooky villain. Wait, who's Associate Bob?
The guy from Beetlejuice. The guy that
the second
the second to the main bad dude. Yeah.
Okay. I didn't even know what his character's name was. Associate Bob. There you go.
I'm so surprised. I loved Lenina Huxley in this movie, Sandra Bullock, and we just got somebody say that she was so bad in this. I loved her.
I think she was supposed to be bad, or like,
I think she was the most committed to the bit of that world, like,
yeah, of their like clunky dialogue and like just like it just everything they said just made me like, ugh, like why are y'all talking like this? This is gross. But I did like the hand waving instead of handshaking.
No,
Thought that was
I
cool.
really I liked her in this. I thought she was funny. I
Dang,
know, I see it.
she's getting flamed in the
Poor
chat right now.
poor Sandy. She gets hers. She gets hers. It's okay. No, I liked Sandra Bullock in this. I don't know why.
I thought she was
Yeah.
funny.
She was it was
I
good.
like.
All right, quotes. This is where I think I'll have a lot of fun. And hopefully you do too.
I wrote down a handful. I didn't get too
All
crazy,
right.
but I did write down my
All right, give me
favorites.
some of them.
Some of which were the just little wordplay with Sandra Bullock not like knowing the right phrase to say from 20th century lingo. So we've got he's finally matched his meat. You really licked his ass. That was one of my
Loved it.
favorites. Chief, you can take this job and you can shovel it.
She's the best.
Loved it. I think those are the only two I wrote down from her, but there was more like along those lines too.
I think those were the two I had written down for her.
Those are two bangers.
Yeah.
We'll say. No, you say something.
Okay, one of
I
my
wanna
favorite
talk about-
lines comes from the very beginning of this movie, and it's when the TV reporter says, "How can you justify destroying a $7 million mini mall to rescue a girl whose ransom was only $25,000?" And then a little girl says, "Fuck you, lady." and Spartan just goes, "Good answer."
Yeah,
You,
man.
lady.
Loved that.
Yeah.
That was great.
And Dr. Cocteau says, "Be well," and Spartan replies with, "Be fucked," which I love and might use that instead of my go-to "get fucked kids" line. Just be fucked.
I like it. That's a good
Yes.
trade-off, you know. I'll set you up for it too. I'll be your be well guy.
Be
How about
fucked.
that? Oh man. Let's see. I liked when Stallone or Spartan at one point they're talking about they're singing the songs in the car, and he's like, "Somebody put me back in the fridge."
The
yeah.
Sorry, I was gonna say something.
Go
I
ahead.
was like,
No,
I
no,
couldn't
no, go,
remember
go.
what the songs were, but I felt like they were all like commercial songs from like the 1950s.
Yeah.
Which is like the only music that's played
like
in this. Yeah,
TV
so it's like TV
commercials.
commercials.
Yeah, or radio commercials. Yeah. I didn't recognize any of them, so it had to be like old school.
At the end of the movie, after John Spartan has kissed Sandra Bullock, he says, "How's that damn seashell thing work?"
That was a good bit. I wish there would have been a little more payoff. But I did like that it kept.
I've got payoff in my fun facts.
About the seashells. All right,
it's
I'm
pretty
excited.
insane.
I also had like early on from the movie, like when he first is like fighting all the cops and they're watching from like the control center or whatever. And I can't remember who said it, but he's like, "We're police officers. We're not trained to handle this kind of violence."
So good. I like the guy going to that like booth, that like telephone booth or whatever, and he's really depressed guy. He's like, "I don't know. Lately, I just don't feel like there's anything special about me." And the booth says, "You're an incredibly sensitive man who inspires joy feelings and all those around you."
I do remember that vaguely because I remember the computer saying something stupid like
joy beans.
Joy. And the only other one I had written down was when Wesley Snipes first opens like to the sewer, and he says, "Shit, I love that smell. Reminds me of biscuits and gravy."
I love anytime Simon says die or Simon says bleed. Those were funny.
Yeah.
And then Simon Phoenix he says, "You're dead, Spartan," and Spartan replies, "You forgot to say Simon says."
Oh, yeah. I missed that. I heard the Simon Says one, but I missed this. Oh man.
So
I love a
yeah,
good bit
that's a
like
good
that.
bet. I think that's everything I've got. I think you nailed my. The only other one I had was the reminds me of biscuits and gravy thing. So, if you have any other favorite lines, go ahead and put them in the chat if you want. We'll look at those and we'll say those out loud. I guess I forgot to do this category myself, but what is the biggest laugh, cry, scare, or thrill that you got from this movie?
I think I think the head explosion was probably like the
Like
biggest
thrill, yeah.
thrill moment for me.
I think the
Yeah,
biggest.
it was kind of
I guess the
unexpected.
biggest laugh for me might be when he's cursing on purpose to get so
Oh,
he
for
could get toilet
yeah,
paper.
so I can
Yeah,
get some TP. That
yeah, I
was pretty
liked that
cool.
part.
Yeah, I did like the ongoing bit with the cursing. That made me laugh quite a few times. Just because it would like come from the other side of the room, like when the scene's happening over here, and then you would hear like the machine going off
Just constantly.
It's just,
From chat,
yeah.
we have the line from Dennis Leary where he says, "I like to read books." Dennis Leary's never read a book in his life.
He
He
loves
loves
it,
reading
man.
books. All right, what's your most what the fuck / ridiculous moment?
I don't think I had anything for that.
I put the sex scene as just like a, I mean, obviously it was supposed to be funny or, like what are they doing? Why are they doing this? I mean, he even says that, and she's like grossed out about the thought of exchanging fluids, and then we learn about how they have sex to procreate and all that stuff. It's pretty insane. It's insane, but
It makes
that's
sense to
not my
me. I
favorite
get it.
or most ridiculous moment. It's when they kill the old man, and then Wesley Snipes says, "Throw another log on the fire," and they just toss the man's body.
Immediately. That's true. That I did write down how like quickly that happened. Also, come on, like if you were gonna allow him to like get a posse, like you knew he
Yeah,
was gonna have
he
somebody
tried to
kill
get
you. Come
Jeffrey
on, bro.
Dahmer. Which would Jeffrey Dahmer have been that good? They always
I mean, he would like do his own thing,
yeah,
so
no, I
probably
don't think
not.
so.
He's not gonna
I
be part of the
sense him to
gang.
be like if you've ever seen Con Air, the Steve Buscemi character from Con Air, who just kind of escapes and does his own thing. That's what would happen if you unfroze Jeffrey Dahmer. But
Yeah,
all right,
he's not gonna be part of your
yeah.
posse.
Best music moment. I don't know how much research or what you said was going to be the best music moment in this movie.
What? So I took best music moment in a very loose
Mhm.
context, and my favorite musical moments, which is not really related to a song or anything, but when a lot of the fight scenes, especially like the very first fight scene, it sounded like somebody was just like hitting things on a soundboard when he was like
Mhm.
punching and kicking people, and it happened in several of the other fight scenes too, and it just made me laugh every time. So
The only
that's
thing
what I
I
got.
put down, and then I'll discuss something else, is the Love Boat theme song that plays in Sandra Bullock's apartment when they're getting like sexy. That's the Love Boat theme
It's the
song.
Love Boat
Yeah,
theme
I
song.
was like, "That what is that?" And then I
Okay,
looked it up. Love Boat theme song. So
nice.
that's mine. But I don't know if you listened to it or found it for this soundtrack. Sting re-recorded the song Demolition Man, which was a Police song. He re-recorded it. I listened to it before the pod. It's a song.
It's a song. Yeah,
I
I saw that and I heard it playing during the credits, and I was like,
that
okay.
was
I didn't even
we bring
listen
this
to the
up
whole
every
thing.
time, but that this happens. But it's again, I feel like this is our third or fourth movie this year where the like big song is not until the credits. It's like Poetic
90s
Justice,
credits, baby.
Free Willy. There was something recently where it was the only song in the movie was in the credits. So everybody
Yeah,
go check out Demolition Man by Sting. And
then check out Demolition Man by
then
the
check out
Police.
Demolition Man by the Police. See which one you like better, and come back to us.
And come back.
All
We'll
right,
be
who's
waiting.
most dateable, or we're gonna do fuck, marry, kill. I've got a couple things to talk about
Okay.
here. I love.
I
Go
did.
ahead.
I thought Sandra Bullock was very
Dateable. You could date her hard.
dateable.
You
I
would
would
date her so hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that she got dressed up so they could have sex. Like she came out in that like white like robe and very silky and everything. I like
Yeah.
that she did that so they could have no touching sex.
So they could keep all
Yes,
their
and
clothes
sit
on.
across
Yeah.
from each other and have sex that way.
Gross.
All right. Fuck, marry, kill. Phoenix, Dr. Cocteau, or Edgar Friendly. And Edgar Friendly.
Okay. Okay. I feel like
This one's tough for me.
I'm killing Dr. Cocteau.
Yeah.
I'm fucking Phoenix, and I'm marrying Friendly.
This is the worst. I think I agree with you. Actually, I might marry Dr. Cocteau because I don't know how much time I could spend with Edgar Friendly.
What do
I
you
don't know how
mean,
much
man?
time I could
Like-
listen to a libertarian talk for.
Dude, I would listen to that Libertarian Manifesto all
I'd be
day.
you'd be Mrs. Joe Friendly.
Absolutely.
I would rather be married to a
100%.
doctor, a learned doctor.
You'd rather be okay. So you're
I marry for money.
okay. Okay.
I'm not marrying for conversation.
Not for love. You're not marrying for love. Okay. All right.
Money.
That's fair.
That's it. Gold digger. I am.
I think you
You're right.
I can't fault you.
All right, and then I think we've pretty much already talked about this, but Phoenix or Spartan was the. I was just like, hey, let me, who do we like better in here? And it seems like you're pro Phoenix.
Yeah, I think we're opposite
I'm
camps.
definitely a Stallone dude.
Which is nice, I feel like we come down on the same side of stuff
Yeah.
so much. So I'm happy to be in opposition to you here.
It's okay. I just don't. Yeah. I wonder if Stallone pays his taxes.
I'm just an agent of chaos,
It's true. All right, who do you think gave the best performance in this movie? All right answers lead to Rob Schneider.
That answer was in the back of my head. But can you say that with someone who was in the movie so
No.
briefly? Is that okay? I don't think you can do that,
No.
right? It's got to be somebody with more.
I think I
screen
just
time.
want, and my only reason I'm so hard on Wesley Snipes is I felt like his character needed to be a little bit like crazier, and I don't think we got that. And again, that might be because we are missing parts of this movie, or there are a lot of things cut, and that's the only reason. I just feel like Wesley Snipes just didn't get a lot of room to be this guy.
He didn't get to go full crazy.
I think I want.
Maybe he was.
I think I want.
I was gonna say maybe he was like restricted from his.
Maybe
his
I want like John Malkovich in Con Air. I keep bringing that up. That's not even like the movie I would pair this with, but like John Malkovich is nuts in Con Air, and I love it. And that's kind of what I want from Wesley Snipes in this movie.
He's more like he's more controlled crazy than like full on. I think he was gonna get there though. He was.
If he didn't get his head kicked off, he would have got there.
If his head wasn't attached to his shoulders,
you like that that foreshadowing from the beginning of the movie? Yeah,
loved it.
All right, is Snipes your answer?
I think it has to be. It's not like I didn't see a lot of great acting in the movie, so
and
I'm grasping.
And that's why I said Sandra Bullock. I don't think she's amazing by any means.
That's why I said Rob Schneider.
Rob Schneider's great. I actually like Associate Bob. I think he's wonderful.
Associate Bob.
All right.
Little turncoat.
Did you do any recasting for this, for the 93 recast?
I don't have any recasting at all.
No, the only thing that I saw, and this comes from a little bit of like fact checking everything, they really didn't want Wesley Snipes to be in this. They wanted Jackie Chan to be the Wesley Snipes character, which I don't love that.
Same. I don't think it would have worked
Especially
well.
with him.
I also saw, yeah. I also saw, yeah, putting him in a villain role. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how it would have gone over then.
He's literally in a movie
I also
called
saw
Mr.
that.
Nice Guy. You can't put Jackie Chan in that in this as a villain.
Yeah, he's always like he was the hero
Exactly.
guy in everything, right? Has he ever done like a big?
I don't think
villain
he's
role?
ever been a villain in a movie. Somebody could fact check
I
that,
can't think of one.
but no.
You know, most guys at least take a villain role at some
I think they
point.
wanted, and the other one is like Van Damme and Steven Seagal.
Yeah.
But Van Damme didn't want to play the villain, and I don't think Steven Seagal wanted to play the villain either.
Yeah, nobody wanted to be the villain.
So that's it.
So Wesley stepped up and took
Arnold
it, you know?
Schwarzenegger as Spartan.
I think I like Arnold Schwarzenegger better
Stallone.
than
I'm a
Stallone.
Stallone guy. I don't know why. But I might have said the exact opposite when we watched Last Action Hero. I might have said I loved Arnold Schwarzenegger. I love their little rivalry, though.
We need a fact check
I
on
need a
that
fact
too.
check on that.
Go back. Somebody go back and watch it.
all 1.5 hours of that and tell me what I said in that. Okay. Rush Hour 2, he's a villain in that movie. Shanghai Nights. Is he a villain in that movie? Okay. Did you do any 2023 recasting?
I got
all right.
I didn't
So
recast
I think we've talked about, maybe not you and I, or maybe somebody else, but like, who are our action stars of the 2020s now? It's everybody that's been in a Marvel movie, and that's honestly like all of the names I could think of. So I was like Chris Hemsworth,
Yeah.
Tom Hardy. Who are our Schwarzenegger and who are our Stallones? I said Michael B. Jordan would be good as Simon Phoenix. I thought he would do a really good job there.
I like that.
I cast Bill Burr as the Dennis Leary part, if you know who Bill Burr is. Comedian. I feel like they have very similar vibes. And I would get really annoyed with Bill Burr, just like I got really annoyed with Dennis Leary. Dennis Leary famously called this a big piece of shit, or a big pile of shit, this movie. So
and then he paid his credit.
And then in the Sandra Bullock role, I put Zazie Beetz. If you know who she is, she's Domino from Deadpool, and she's in the Joker movie. She's like the girl he likes. Yeah, I like her a lot. I think she could do it. Excuse me, sorry. Okay, fun facts. Did you know? Go ahead. What did you research?
I got some. Yeah, you already mentioned the bit about Wesley Snipes being too fast for the cameras and they had to slow things down. I thought that was pretty awesome, just because I love him. The opening scene where they like the whole building blew up, that was an actual building that they blew up, and there was a contest on MTV, like a movie tie-in contest, where they like raffled off the winner gets to press the button to blow that building up.
That's pretty awesome. Cool. I did not.
I didn't research.
No, I didn't
get.
I didn't see that.
Who cares who it actually was? But if it was me, I would care. You know. But yeah. So I think the girl in your scene that said "fuck you, lady." I think that was supposed to be like, you're talking about all these scenes that were cut. I think they were supposed to be like that was his daughter, maybe, that's mentioned in the movie, and like she's part of the underground world when he comes back, but they kind of just like scrapped all that. So I think you see that girl again, like in one of the underground scenes, and like it was supposed to be like his daughter in the future or something. I don't know. Anyways, I'm excited to hear about your 3 seashells.
So Sylvester Stallone stated in interviews that the idea behind the 3 seashells was that 2 were used like chopsticks to clamp together to pull the waste out of the body, and the 3rd was used to scrape what was left over. No explanation was made about how they were to be cleaned or sanitized between uses.
Wow. So you got two to
to
pull.
pull it out.
You're yanking it out, and then you're scraping it with the other one.
Yeah.
And that's better than toilet paper. Especially if they don't clean them.
Yeah, there was no mention of how that gets done, but Stallone's fucking with us. He's got to be. I just love that he said that they were like chopsticks, so you could clamp them together.
Chopsticks for your
for
butt.
I think I might start using chopsticks. Just to...
I don't know about that, man. I don't think I'm behind that.
What an absurd.
Are we talking single use?
I don't think it was ever supposed to have any kind of.
It's just
I think
nonsense.
it was just nonsense. I did
Yeah.
read somewhere that plopsticks is a very funny thing. I did read somewhere that somebody or the creator of this or the writer or whatever was in a bathroom, and of course, you know, some bathrooms always have like vases or things filled with seashells because that's the like decoration or aesthetic, and they're like, do something with that. It just came up.
And they said
That's where the
what
three
seashell-
seashells
okay.
came from. So,
Hmm.
I
needed to. Well, no, I don't think I do. Never mind.
I can show you after. That'll be in the Patreon. That is another video that we can.
Man, your
Hey, it's
Patreon has
blowing
really
up.
got some stuff
It is
cooking
blowing
here.
up. Lenina Huxley's name is a combination of Lenina Crown and Aldous Huxley from Brave New. You know, Aldous Huxley wrote Brave New World, and Crown is a character in Aldous Huxley's Brave New World. So there you go. Body count 72.
I saw that. Seemed a
Yeah.
little low, honestly.
We've talked about Lori Petty before. She's been in a couple movies we've watched this year, but she actually had a few days filming as the Sandra Bullock character, and she left filming because there were creative differences. So we lost out on another good Lori Petty
Oh,
role,
dang.
which made me a little bit sad. Somebody in chat says Alfredo Garcia is a reference to a Sam Peckinpah movie. Did not know that. I love that Benjamin Bratt gets like 3 lines in this movie, and then he becomes like a mole person. He's just like already indoctrinated into that libertarian lifestyle.
Immediately. What did he say? He's like, you get whacked on the head and suddenly or something like
He's
that.
just watching too many YouTube videos. He's on X too much. Let's see. Oh, Sandra Bullock. Here's a costume design choice. Sandra Bullock's costume during the Taco Bell sequence was made of stones and gems that weighed about 40 pounds. After the fight scene, she jumps up and down, and her dress actually started to rip because of that, which is why she's holding her arms to her sides after Stallone walks away. So that dress was not functional. It was a weird dress.
I would never want to wear anything that's 40 pounds.
You couldn't be a firefighter then.
I couldn't. You're right. I would never. I don't have the gumption.
And if you haven't seen anybody in chat already mention this, but for non-American releases, Taco Bell was changed to Pizza Hut because Taco Bell was not in any foreign countries at the time, some of the foreign countries. So there was a lot of dubbing and changing the logos during post-production. So there are a couple times you'll see.
Also a lot of
some that were definitely missed in there. The only other thing I have is that in the novelization of this movie, Associate Bob is a eunuch. Dr. Raymond Cocteau had him castrated to prevent him from becoming too ambitious. Just a little bit of Associate Bob character for you.
I don't get it. Why?
I don't know.
Don't they go to a clinic to procreate? Like what? How does him having
this movie doesn't make any sense. This movie doesn't make any sense.
It's not like he could spawn a bunch, or maybe he would. I don't know. Maybe he was wanting to donate his seed to spread his ambition. I don't know.
Don't spread your ambition that way. I promise.
Keep your ambition.
Please keep your ambition to yourself.
Or you'll get it lopped off.
If I wait a minute, sorry. If I wasn't horny all the time, I'd be so much more ambitious.
Mm,
That's what it is.
okay. Wait. Then he did the opposite.
He took away it.
If he eunuched him, then he made him more
I love that
ambitious.
you turned it into a verb. If he eunuched him,
Yeah.
it's ridiculous. All right, did you like this movie?
I mean, it was a decent watch. I laughed a
Yeah.
lot. I thought there was a lot of comedy in it, which I feel like is pretty typical for these types of like 90s action movies. Like they're just going for like the zingers. They're not trying to make sense. They're not trying to make like a great impactful story. It kind of had similar vibes to like Last Action
Yeah.
Hero, just like trying to be funny, like so. And I enjoyed it for that, what it was.
1 out of 5 for the corporate propaganda. Yeah, they were this is a very pro cop movie.
Propaganda.
Yeah, I didn't love the movie, but I think I'm with you on this. I was a little confused, and maybe I'm just slow at picking it up, but I was like, oh, this is a comedy. It took me a while to be like, this is funny. Like this is what they're going for. I did read that
Yeah.
originally the script was much darker and much more sinister of a movie. So I like that they didn't go with that and made it a little bit funnier. So
I think I'd agree
Yeah.
with that. I would be interested to see like how like a darker non-comedy version of this would play out. It's kind of like I mean, I guess we've probably seen versions of that where it's like, oh, utopia, but no,
Yeah.
not really. Yeah. Anyways,
It was
It was
fun. It
fine.
made me laugh a lot. And
Yeah,
if I
I
see it on television, maybe I'll stop. But
Yeah.
I also don't own cable television, so that means I'll never see this movie.
so you won't see it.
All right, like a fine wine and dish. If you could pair this movie with another movie for a double feature, what would you choose?
I had one super obvious choice for me, which was The Fifth
Ooh, that
Element.
was number 1 on my list.
I just rang true to me the whole time I was watching it. Like maybe a little bit better too,
Mhm.
of just like a little zanier, futuristic, but still kind of like it's we're trying to have fun with the
Yeah.
future here in some way or another. So I did also put Running
Ooh,
Man
yeah.
for Arnold.
I had written down
I thought-
Total Recall as well, yeah.
Ooh, yeah, Total Recall is a good one.
Uh,
But Running Man, like I actually haven't seen that in a really long time, so maybe I don't like it as much as I do in my memory. But kind of like that, like opposite end, like dystopian, but still kind of like
Is
cheesy and
Running
like
Man the one that's like a game show? Okay,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
That's what I thought. I loved that movie when I was a child, and would
Same.
Idiocracy be a good
Haven't seen it
pairing?
since.
Yeah, probably. I mean, for a funny dystopian
Yeah.
future, I think that would probably be a good one. I wrote down Escape from New York,
Well,
but honestly, I think Escape from LA would be the better choice for this one because it's way dumber than Escape from New York. There's a basketball game in Escape from LA that's pretty hilarious that he's has to play basketball to win or like to save his life. It's pretty great. Did you have others? I have 2 others.
Go for it. I just had the
For a
two.
Dennis Rodman, God, what is his name? Jean-Claude Van Damme version of this. I would say Double Team. If you've never seen it, I wouldn't go out and
Ooh.
watch it. It's not that good, but it's got Dennis Rodman trying to be Simon Phoenix as a good guy.
Awesome.
So yeah, definitely do that. And then for cryogenically frozen enemies, I said Austin Powers. Yeah.
Nice. I like that.
It's very reminiscent of that. So
This basically
it-
was Austin Powers.
yeah, Austin Powers did this way better, I think. So
True. Way better.
Okay, if you had to rate this as a rewatchable movie, what would you rate it out of 5?
I mean, I gave it just a fairly run of the mill 3 for
Yeah.
rewatchable. Like I could watch it again fine. I'm not gonna seek out necessarily to rewatch it, but if the opportunity came about, I would have fun watching it
Yeah,
again, I
that's
think.
exactly what I gave it, 3. And then what's your overall star rating?
Down a half star to 2.5.
2.5. We're the
Get out of
same.
here. We're opposites though.
But
We're
you're
we're
the Snipes to my Stallone.
you're I think that's
I
what
think
we're
that's
saying.
what we're saying. I'm okay with that. You're the villain to my hero. Because you are a villain. And for anyone out there,
I'm the be fucked to your be
and for
well.
anyone out there that knows Joe and thinks he's a hero, you don't know Joe. He's a villain.
You don't know.
Dastardly. It's the only words I would use to
It's true.
describe him. He's dastardly. Watch out for him, ladies and gentlemen. And that's why I'm going to kill him.
That's right. If you tune in.
Thanks for tuning in. This is what's going to happen here. Okay.
I would say intolerable, maybe more than dastardly.
No,
That's just me, though.
dastardly. I think you've got an agenda. You know what you're doing. I
All
didn't.
right.
You know what I didn't do? Look up next week's movie. Isn't that bad? I know what it is. I
Wow.
know what it is. We're good. Anyway, Joe, you're wonderful. I love you to death.
I love you too.
What have you been watching recently?
Man, I've been kind of slacking recently, if
That's
I'm
not
being
true.
honest, on movies. I mean, it's pretty true. I think since the last time I was on here, though, I can't remember how long it's been, so I'll mention it again in case it. I did see Old Boy in theaters again. I know we talked about this, but I can't remember if I mentioned it on the, which is just an outstanding movie. Love it to death, and it's been probably almost 20 years since I've seen
That's
it.
so crazy to believe.
It was awesome to see it in theaters again. And there was like a little like interview afterwards with Park. It wasn't like super in depth. It was probably like 10 minutes or something, but they asked him like some questions that was really cool too. So a little bonus feature, which you always love. Other than that, this week I watched the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie that came out. It was pretty good. It was like a fun little, respinning or retelling. I thought they nailed like the modern teenagers pretty well, and it was pretty funny too. And then I've just been watching like trying to get back through The Good Place, which I know you love.
Oh yeah, Spencer loves when I bring up The Good Place. It's one of his.
So let's talk about Good Place for 10 more minutes for Spencer.
Yeah. So that anything that you're looking forward to that's going to come out here soon?
Creator.
Is that next week?
Is coming. I think it's next week. I think there's also some pretty good stuff coming out for October. I know we got the like new Exorcist movie at some point, and I feel like there were some other good horrors coming out. I'll probably go see the new Saw movie because I just last year finally watched all of them just to do it. So now they're reeling me back in where I got to watch another one, which is dumb, but FOMO.
Killers of the Flower Moon comes out in October.
Is that October?
20th, I think that's when that comes
awesome.
out. Trying to think of anything else that we had talked about that might be interesting.
I think there's some other late ones in the year, aren't there? I can't.
Nothing comes to mind, but that's okay. I've been watching some good. I watched a great movie last night I had never seen. Comedy, Marilyn Monroe comedy, 7 Year Itch. It's the one with the famous, subway grate thing where her skirt flies up. That movie's hilarious. There's a 30-minute segment of that movie that I thought was one of the funniest things I've ever watched. It's from 1955. Wow. There's a lot of like innuendo in that movie because of like the Hays Code and stuff that they got away with. So it's very sexy. It's a very sexy movie, very funny movie. Would definitely recommend that. I watched Wong Kar-wai's first film, As Tears Go By. You and I love Wong Kar-wai. So that was it was a decent movie. I watched A Bronx Tale for the first time, which is actually a 1993 movie. Kind of a gangster coming of age movie. a la like Goodfellas, except more focused on like the coming of age part that I actually really, really enjoyed. So if you all are looking for another 1993 movie to go see, that's the one that I would go see. So
That's the honorable mention for the list.
I would definitely throw it on my list for honorable mention. I kind of wish I would have, put that on there. I don't know why I didn't put it on the list. It was directed by Robert De Niro, stars Robert De Niro. It's based on a one-man show by Chaz Palminteri, who goes on tour doing that as a one-man show. It's really, really good. There's some really good lines in that movie and some really good scenes that I would recommend people checking out. So definitely do that if you're still wanting to watch some more films like or from the year 1993. That's what I would do. Also, I've started watching a show on Paramount Plus called The Gold. I'm only 2 episodes in, but it's like a British crime movie about like the biggest crime or biggest gold robbery in their history. So I'll tell you how it ends up. But the first 2 episodes were pretty good.
Is it like a documentary? Is it like
it's a drama about it, but it's based on a true story.
Okay.
And like they haven't even caught some of the people, but there's a lot of stuff behind it. That's really good. So that's those are some things that I'm watching, but that's all I've got for you.
Are they gonna catch these people?
I don't know.
I mean, now that the show's
I don't know.
out?
Maybe I just ruined it for everybody, but they don't catch
Wow.
everybody. Yeah.
Exposure.
So, all right. Well, if you don't have anything else, I can go ahead and end the pod. It's a little bit early, but it's Demolition Man. What can you do? What can you do? I don't know. All right. Well, I've had a good stream with you. Oh, next week's movie is going to be Rudy, the Notre Dame football movie starring Sean Astin. We'll be talking about that next week. I know many of you have probably already seen that movie before. I believe it's only streaming on VOD right now. I have tried to look for links for my people. Can't find it yet, but I'll keep looking. Maybe Spencer will find it for me. Who knows? But we'll see you all next week. Hopefully, watch the movie ahead of time and come into chat and talk about it. We'd love to hear from you. But thank you again, Joseph, and we'll see you all next time. Goodbye. Be well. We're and I'm trying something different here. I'm gonna raid some people on Twitch and see if this works.
Ooh.
So I'm gonna raid.
Is this just a you raid, or are we co-raiding?
No, we're raiding. So we're done.